Greetings, vinyl community. Hope everyone is doing well. It's been a long time since I've seen you last. Uh, I don't know how long it's been, but it's been a while. Uh, the title right below you here might tip you off as to maybe why I haven't seen anyone in a while and why I've not been on social media hardly at all in the last few months. Um, a lot of people, and I really do mean it's been an inordinate amount of people have asked me when's my next video. And I ran into someone I run into quite often named Andy who asked me that a couple of days ago. And I thought, well, maybe it's time to make a video just to kind of occupy my time a bit, apart from shopping for vinyl. But really quick, I got a lot of vinyl to show you because obviously I've picked up a lot of vinyl since I've seen you last. Um, so I've had to cherry pick a lot, and then the rest I'll save for another video. But it's been just really quickly what's been going on. Not that you need to know. If you don't need to know, you can skip past this. Just I've had some deaths or death in the family. My mother passed, and that was a massive blow. And I just really that was just recently, and I haven't really kind of had time to kind of deal with that yet. As one uh, tends to sometimes not deal with things right away, so it's uh, and then there's been some illness, and there's been some vinyl. So it's been a really tough go of it, as my mother's kind of death was kind of inevitable, but it was just kind of a long haul of time, and then she finally passed, and then being the sole kind of executor of her estate, it just took a lot of time. As if anyone knows what I'm talking about, there's a lot of legal stuff, stuff with the government, stuff with family, stuff like that. Just kind of figure out with the aid of my sister, just kind of what's going on and what to do and all that stuff. So, yeah. And then there's been a lot of illness, and then there's been a lot of just with me and other people, and there you go. Bob's your uncle. That's been what's going on with my life, and a lot of people have been asking why I've not been making videos, and maybe that's a little too personal to tell you, but I got nothing to lose, so I won't have to hear. I won't have to hear. When's your next video? Well, not exactly like that, um, but anyways, thank you for the encouragement to kind of get back on the horse. Whether it lasts, I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where this goes. But thank you everyone who's been watching my videos. I've kind of found out the longer times between your videos, the algorithms don't work in your favor, and then you get less views, and your videos are they pop up a lot less. It's the people who make videos 2-3 times a week that their kind of algorithms work in their favor, and people tend to watch the videos a bit more. So you know what? If whoever watches this, thank you. I was doing really well for a while there, and then life happens, or it doesn't. Anyways, little cheers to my mom and to everyone else who's lost a loved one, and to anyone else who's been dealing with any kind of health issues and stuff like that, who's been trudging through. And like COVID wasn't enough. Now you got other stuff to deal with in life. So, but that's life, and you just make the best of it, and you kind of just move forward. I'm not a big believer in taking any steps back in life. It's just moving forward. And as you might notice, it's a bit of a different setup, which I'll get to in a bit. But cheers, everyone. Cheers to my mama, who joins my father and joins my sister, wherever, if you believe in such things. I don't really, but it's nice to think that they're all together somewhere. Probably not. Um, really different setting. Um, because of the downtime I've had, and just because one sometimes when you're dealing with a lot of problems, one tries to take their mind off of things. And my last room tour video, I said that's what I'm going to be running with for the next year, and I totally lied. I've kind of like a 75% new system, so and I'm really happy with it. I've always been into dead formats that worked in the 70s or whenever 80s, and then that format's kind of died. So I've added a couple new ones to my stereo system, which I never thought I'd ever have. So I think it's time for another room tour video. I think that's going to be my next one, because things are so different, but better. I got rid of the Technics 1200. You know what? I can DJ with that at the clubs. I got something a little bit more fitting for my home, which I've realized the Technics 1200 is not really the best home system. It sounds good, but the total manual, um, the manual controls is not. I don't know. It's not really befitting of a home environment. That's a really wordy way of saying that it's just not really good for home use. I've added a monitor, which I'll explain why later on, in my room tour video. Not now, but I'm making the best of what space I got now, and it's looking really good, and I'm really happy with it. No more reclining chair. I got a proper padded stool. Thank God it's padded for those days I get hemorrhoids. It's age. What the hell? What the fuck? Come on. Everyone gets old. Anyways, I want to get to the vinyl really quickly. I'm going to cherry pick. I cherry picked what I got. I can't cherry pick anymore, but what I'll do is I'll quickly just go through what I got. I don't know if I've really separated new from old. Have I? Yeah, I kind of did a little bit. But I'm just going to go through what I've picked up. I'm probably going to show you maybe half of what I've picked up since I saw you last. And a lot of it's filed because I didn't think I would be making another video. So I just filed it, and I'll have to dig some stuff out for a future video. Because I've picked up some really good stuff. Thrift stores, online ads, nothing really from used record stores per se, but just primarily that's where I've been picking up vinyl from, and the new stuff from wherever I've been picking new stuff up from. So got a new guitar. My last, hey, 1 second. This is my last forever guitar. It's a hybrid Stratocaster and Telecaster. It was, and the reason I got it, not primarily, but it's got the big 70s headstock, which I'll make get rid of that. It's got the big 70s headstock, which I love, and I've loved since I was a kid, and I think that was Richie Blackmore who turned me on to those. But this is, I can't remember what year this is, but this is Fender Pawn Shop model, which with the little Telecaster type pickup here, and then it's got a humbucker right here, but I just love it. So I've got rid of all my other guitars, and this is the one I have. Unlike my stereo system, I will not lie about this one. This one I absolutely love. It's so versatile. I just love it. It feels so good. The neck on it, it's like plays like butter. Anyways, nice beveling on that. String through. Just lovely. No tremolo system, thank God, because I'm kind of over that. So there you go. That's what I've been. This is one of the things I've been doing since I saw you last. Trading all my guitars and picking up something that will be mine forever. So there you go. That's mine. What else did I get? Oh yeah, I got Electro Harmonix Big Muff. I've never had one before. Why not try to sound like Mudhoney? I could do worse than that. Anyways, how's that for a side note? And one thing really quickly, I got a record cleaning system that I'm really excited to show in a future video. It's not an okie dokie. It's not one of those things that's really kind of gimmicky, but we're going to see if it works. I'm really happy I just got it yesterday, so in the mail, so I'm kind of excited to show you. So anyways, cheers. That was a 9-minute intro, but you know what? I owe it to you. If you would have added up all the times I would have done catch up before videos, it would have been longer than 9 minutes. So you know what? That's what the fast forward button's for. Let's get the vinyl. This is all more or less thrift store stuff. The birthday party, the BBC sessions, or the Peel sessions, sorry, the John Peel sessions. The birthday party, of course, Nick Cave, Nick Harvey, but Nick Cave. The birthday party, who I just love, and I can't believe I found this record at a thrift store, but very excited to have that. It's really good as well if you're kind of into the birthday party. I might group some things together. This is a group. I was talking to my friend Tom. By the way, I'm a couple hours away today from seeing, for the second time, seeing the Punk in Drublic Punk Festival. The last time was 2019, and then COVID hit. But now, in a couple hours, I don't really care about NoFX because it's NoFX, and I've seen them so many times, and they've gotten a bit old. not age-wise, just their shtick. But Descendants are playing. The Descendants are playing. I haven't seen them since I was probably 16, 17 years old in a little community hall. But I'm so excited to see the Descendants that I'm really excited. Live music. And I saw a band called Dirty Honey last night, which is a fucking amazing band. We'll talk about that later. Anyways, I've been listening. Yeah, so my point was I was talking to Tom last night at this Dirty Honey show. And I said, you know what I've been listening to a lot of? And it's a band that, you can't, some bands bypass you because you don't have time to listen to every band ever. But I was aware of the hits. I was never a big Thin Lizzy fan because I just never gave them the time of day because I'd be so busy, and their time in the back of the bus finally came. They walked up the bus aisle to the front, and then I found some really good thrift store vinyl. I found Jailbreak, of course. Really nice original, the TV screen's intact. As you know, some people might know this is missing from some copies you might find used. Then I got Thunder and Lightning and Renegade, which I think are my favorite two Thin Lizzy records that I've heard so far, are these two here. And I found these at thrift stores. Thank you. I'm sorry, and the setup is different, so I'm going to have to do a lot of reaching and a lot of this. And I got a table for my coffee now. Things are looking good, I hope. How do I look? I've lost almost 20 pounds since I've seen you last. So I get a lot of comments about, am I that sick? Am I dying or something? No, stress will do that to you, and losing people and dealing with stuff is tough. So if anything good has come of that, I've lost a lot of weight. So I'm no longer a fat bastard. Not that I ever was, but an 80s pressing of the Freewheelin' Bob Dylan, which I have an original, not original, but it's like an early pressing, I think Columbia 2i or something like that. And I'm sorry, but this is better. I played both of them, and as I said before, a lot of people make excuses for it's not an original pressing, so my pressing sucks. No, it doesn't. Not all original presses are good. I've covered this before. I've talked about this before. It's a kind of stroke to the ego to say you have an original pressing of something. It doesn't mean it's the best sounding copy out there. This 80s pressing is really good, and it's better than my original copy. So you know what? Some sucker can have my original copy, and they can brag to their friends they have an early pressing of that. Neil Young's Live Rust, which I've never had. I don't know why. I'm a Neil Young fanatic, but I've never picked this up on vinyl. Thrift store. Well, thank you very much. You know what? I've had so many copies of this come in and out of my collection because I've just been looking for a better copy because most copies you find of this at thrift stores have been played to death because it was such a popular record back in the day. And when I mean back in the days before I was born. But I found a really nice copy in the shrink. So clean. The Mamas and Papas, if you can believe your eyes and ears. And I don't think at this point I can surprise anyone, but I love the Mamas and Papas, and it stemmed from a documentary I saw when I was in my young teens on satellites, when the satellites were the size of a house. And in Canada here, we would pick up some American channels. And I can't remember if it was like Cinemax or Showtime or something like that. I had this Mamas and Papas documentary, which I've since found on DVD. And it was a really, oddly, a really influential documentary for me because that's how I discovered the California music scene back then. And I was a little too young to kind of grasp the concept of it, but later on I kind of did. And this is one of my favorite albums from the times. I'm sorry, people can talk about the Beach Boys and harmonizing, but I'm sorry, Mama and Michelle and John and Denny, they can harmonize with the best of them, in my opinion. This is for maybe Canadians only, but this was on Slash Records out of Los Angeles, which was distributed by Warner Music. And Slash had X, and they had a lot of other really cool bands. But this is the Sons of Freedom. I already have one of these, but you find it so rarely that I pick it up, and I know friends will die for this record. It is one in that short list of one of my favorite, let's say 50 records of all time, is the Sons of Freedom. A band so good that I just can't believe they didn't make it any farther than what they did. Queen and I at the Opera. I don't know how many copies of that I've found over the years. Stay tuned because this isn't going from best to worst. Like the back pile is as good as the front pile, and I got a copy of LFO UK. I think the UK kind of techno band from was it the early '90s. I've had a few singles from them, and I really like this. I got it at the thrift store, and I so rarely find kind of early '90s techno albums that I've got complete albums. I love picking those up. Rainbow Down to Earth. Who's this? Is this Graham Bonnet on vocals? Yeah, it must be because it's got Since You've Been Gone on it. Yeah. Graham Bonnet with the short hair, Don Airy, Roger Glover, Cozy Powell, and Richie Blackmore. I'm not disparaging Cozy Powell, but yeah. It's a decent-ish album. It's another one of Richie Blackmore's attempts at getting FM radio play. I have another copy of this, but I can't believe I found another copy. It's a band called Seduce from Detroit, Michigan. If you've seen the documentary, The Decline of the Western Civilization Part 2, The Metal Years, Seduced is one of those up-and-coming bands that was heavily featured in that documentary. So I now have 2 copies. This will go to someone who might want it whenever I start selling records again. And I now have a copy of their first record. So very good band from Detroit, Michigan. Once again, I don't think any of those bands in that documentary, the up-and-coming bands, ever made it. But like Odin. Oh, that's for you guys who've seen the documentary. Paul Collins Beat. I think Hannah, do you like? I'm not sure if she's watching my videos anymore. I watch yours. What the fuck, Hannah? I think she probably does. Paul Collins Beat. I think she's really into them, and I've used to find these records all the time, but now I think word's kind of gotten around via YouTube that this is a really good band that you need to listen to, and it's true. So I found myself a really nice copy of The Kids Are the Same, and I'm very happy. It's a punch out, so you can tell it didn't sell back in the day. It was in some kind of delete bin. But Paul Collins Beat is one of those bands that you need to investigate. You might not like it, but you need to kind of hear it and have an opinion on it. You'll like it, trust me. Jimmy Cliff, Follow My Mind. It's going all over the place today. I don't discriminate when it comes to used records in thrift stores. I don't know if this is the best Jimmy Cliff album of all time. It was okay. And because reggae albums are so hard to find at thrift stores, that I kind of keep them. So that'll stay in my collection. One of the best live albums that you might have never heard is it's a simple album called 801 Live. And I'm so happy I found a copy of this. It's Phil Manzarek, Brian Eno, Lloyd Watson, Simon Phillips, Francis Monkman, Bill McCormick. But you got the Eno in there, and Phil Manzarek. So that's the 2 kind of driving forces behind this. And I swear to you, well, if you're into that kind of music, think Brian Eno a little bit harder sounding maybe. But it's one of the best live records I've ever heard. Definitely in the top 5. And if you see this record for cheap, pick it up, stream it. It's very good. Renaissance. I can't believe I've been picking up so many Renaissance and Pentangle records, because it's not something 20 years ago I would have laughed at myself for liking this stuff, but I just really like this stuff. This is Novella. I found this at a thrift store as well. I don't know what to say about Renaissance without taking up too much time, but it's something you need to experience. It's not for everyone, but it serves me well when I'm in a certain mood. Let's put it that way. Same as Pentangle as well. Gentle Giant, possibly. I was going to say it's one of my favorite Gentle Giant records, but it's up there. Freehand. Steven Wilson, the average musician, really good mixer, producer, remasterer, etc. He recently did a mix on this. You can get on CD for really cheap. So you get the regular record, and I think you get the whatever he did, 5.1 something mix on it. And I have it. It's actually really good. Even if you don't have a 5.1 system, the mix he did is really, really good on this record, as most Steven Wilson stuff is. When he redoes it, like he did the Yes catalog, the early catalog, and it's amazing. So I tend to pick up the Steven Wilson stuff because if it's not great, at least it's interesting. But this is a Orange Label Capitol Records copy, kind of a bog standard copy, but good record. I don't think I've ever found this band at a thrift store. Stranglers. Maybe not their best two records, but I found two Stranglers records. In all my years, I've never found Stranglers at a thrift store. And yeah, I'm so happy. No More Heroes. And this is all live all of the night. So two good records by the Stranglers. All in the back, they kind of look very dodgy with the 80s looking headless guitars. I can't remember. The name of those guitars will come to my mind. It's whatever it is. Let's call it a Duesenberg, but it's not. I'm just making up names now for guitars. Another amazing thrift store find that I cannot, because I've been after this record for a while, and it came in and out of print, and then I was just happy with my CD. It's a band called The Gossip, Standing in the Way of Control. Now, I was really into this band for a while, and then their subsequent releases and the albums before this were, there were some good moments, but they were all kind of lacking overall, but we kind of pulled it all together in this album. And this is what got them their major label deal, which then kind of petered out because no one bought the records that I think it was Sony put out, sadly. But Beth Ditto here, I think she got a solo deal. But an amazing, really good dance album. It's kind of just a really good album to dance to, but it's not dance music. It's all real live instruments, as they say. But how they make that music so awesome is a mystery to me. This is not a thrift store find. Where did I get this from? I don't remember where I got this from, but it was used because it's out of print, and it is one of maybe my favorite stoner record of all time. If you take out Black Sabbath, is I finally got a copy of Sleep, Dope Smoker. This is one of maybe 3 different versions of this album that's come out, but this being my favorite version that's come out. I mean, I've heard the other ones streaming or on CD, etc., but this is from the Southern Lord label who put out this copy, which is it's all one song over 2 records, I believe. Yeah, the first song, Dope Smoker, is over an hour long. So grab a bong and just sit with the lights low and drift into the netherworld, because Sleep is amazing. Motley Crue, Shout at the Devil. I found a used copy of this, and you know what? When I found this, I'm like, okay, well, I got a copy to kind of pass on to someone. And I look, and my copy is somewhere gone, and I'm not sure if I gifted it to someone, as I tend to do a lot, or I don't know what I did with it, but now I have a copy for my collection. So Shout at the Devil, original kind of Canadian electro pressing. Manowar. I have nothing to say about Manowar. Sign of the Hammer. Yeah, Manowar. This is one of their albums they put out on Virgin Records, which is kind of laughable. They're on Virgin Records, but yeah, I don't mind them. They're okay. There's a lot of big Manowar fans, but I'm this much of a fan. Enough where I'll keep it, but Combat Rock. I thought this was a find from, I think, yesterday. I haven't not even cleaned it yet with my new system. It's right over there. I mean, I hope it's good. If it's not, I'm going to fucking break the goddamn thing. Cost me enough money. Anyways, Combat Rock. As time goes on, I really appreciate this album a lot more. A lot of people are very down on this record because, it was kind of like a commercial breakthrough of sorts. But I don't know how you can put down this record. Know Your Rights. Should I stay? Should I go? Rock the Casbah, Straight to Hell. I mean, right there. It's produced by Glyn Johns too, which is funny. Or mixed by. It's mixed by Glyn Johns, but he did all the early Eagles records, and I think he did some Zeppelin stuff like that. But I have I've had this record on probably cassette since I was like 12, and then CD, and then vinyl. This is an extra copy for me now, but it's been a part of my life since I was at least 12. And it was the first was it? No, the first record I ever got from the Clash was the first record, thanks to my now brother-in-law Jason, who turned me on to it. But all right, I'm babbling now. But Rush, this was a thrift store find, but it was not a cheap thrift store find. I think it was more up around the. What's that doing? Hang on here. I want that picture back up. There you go. We'll go with that. I think they had this at like probably $10 or something like that, but I don't care. I didn't have this. This is Rush doing moving pictures live, and it's just one of those records I never bothered to pick up, although it was cheap when it came out. Just never bothered. Now I have it. $10. Happy with that. My first time I've ever found a Meat Puppets record on vinyl. The Meat Puppets on SST. It's just amazing that I found the Meat Puppets Monsters, one of their earlier records on SST Records. SST Records owned by Greg Ginn, or ruined by Greg Ginn, possibly, of Black Flag fame. But it's been a good couple months, or however long it's been since I've seen you last. People rave about this record, and then I found it at a thrift. Sorry, I covered my mouth there. People rave about this record, and I'm looking over here. People rave about this record in YouTube videos and online stuff, and if you go to record stores on a Saturday afternoon, kind of like High Fidelity, people just love this record, and I could never figure out why. Not that I ever heard it, but just by the artist, I'm like, no, that album can't be fucking that good. But then I'm seeing it's been released on audiophile vinyl recently, and it's just people rave about this record. But David Crosby, if I could only remember my name, I found a really nice original copy of it, and I got to be honest with you, I have not heard it yet because I'm so far behind on listening to records. But I mean, I've listened to a lot of music. Don't get me wrong. If I would stop buying fucking stereo equipment, but anyways, I'll report back what I think of that record. My first ever original pressing of the Electric Prunes. I had too much to dream last night. The Electric Prunes. Is it mono? Oh, it's got some tape on the back that says mono. Who gives a shit? I have this record finally on vinyl, an original copy, but I feel like trading this in for not kind of like a repress, because I'm sure a repress would serve this album really well. But anyways, very good record. Very, 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 very good record, as I try to make sure the vinyl doesn't spill. Quadraphonic pressing of Alice Coltrane and Carlos Santana. Kind of an odd record, but something that I will, I'm sure, possibly like. PFM, some Italian prog metal. What's this one? The World Became the World. PFM, I don't know what more to say about them. If you're into prog music, I'm sure you might know of them. Oh, I've kind of mixed this up. This isn't a record store day record from the last one. I haven't showed Record Store Day vinyl in a long time, but this is Pearl Jam live on 2 legs, and insanely good live record. This is the new anniversary edition of 45 RPM pressing of half-speed mastered, pressing of David Bowie's Ziggy Stardust. Yeah, another copy. I think I probably have 7 different copies of this now. I got the anniversary edition, then another anniversary edition, then some kind of audiophile version, and this is the half-speed mastered version done by Miles Showell, I believe. I could be wrong on this. I'm sorry if I am, but I thought it was mastered at Abbey Road Studios by Miles Showell, who does such a great version. He does such great work on 45 RPM pressings, and I'm not sure. I can't remember if it's him now, but I will say this is maybe the best pressing I have of this record, possibly. Don't quote me, but it's really good. So if you see this anniversary edition there and you're looking for a copy of that, skip the other copy and go for this one because this one is so good. Collective Soul from Record Store Day again. I now have the first three Collective Soul records and I'm happy. Discipline Breakdown. There's one after this, which is blanking on. Once I get that on vinyl, then my Collective Soul collection is fine. I'm good. The first four records are, to me, are excellent. I've met the boys a bunch of times, and there's such, I've talked about this before. They're such nice people. So Collective Soul, Discipline Breakdown. I lined up for Record Store Day for this, the last one, just for this. And then I found some other stuff, of course, as one does. Courtesy of my friend Tom. Hey, Tom, which I'll see you in a couple hours for the Punk in Drublic tour for the Descendants. I don't know if I think he just bought this for me. A copy of the new Black Crowes EP, 1972. I liked it just fine. It's the Black Crowes. You cannot go wrong. I bought this. This is a Japanese pressing, and I'm sweating here. It's really hot in here. It's supposed to be 34 today, where I am. I gotta speak there, sorry. So it's really hot right now, even in the morning. So if I'm glistening with sweat, it's not because I'm nervous going to ask you out on a date. I'm just sweaty, hot. Anyways, I've bought this record. This is a Japanese pressing because I think it might have only come out in Europe and Japan. So I can get rid of all my other records by this person, except for one. Because I got to start getting rid of the whole collections of bands that I'll never listen to it, but they're individual records, but I will listen to a good greatest hits record. And so that's Pat Benatar. This is Best Shots, Japanese pressing. And the only other Pat Benatar record I will hang on to now is her True Love record, which is kind of a jump blues record. Really nice. Love that record. It's so different. I'm going to get rid of all the other ones, trade them in or something, because I don't need her whole collection, but this is kind of all her best songs. Plus, I'll keep the True Love record, just because. Ready for this one? I can't believe I found this at a thrift store, but I did. I found this in a little borough of my city called St. Albert, which is its own city or town, whatever it is. But it's one of those places that it's just right next to our city. Like it's like a 3-minute drive, 2-minute drive. Down St. Albert Trail. Prince. Graffiti Bridge, double vinyl, the soundtrack from the record. The soundtrack from the movie. I'm trying not to say and here I am saying all the time. Can't believe that I found this record. It's got The Time on it. It's got, I think, Tevin Campbell, but it's got really good Prince songs on it. The movie, some people will say they liked it, but it's just a sack of shit compared to Purple Rain. But the soundtrack is very good. I think George Clinton's on this too. Anyways, I can't believe I got this record, Graffiti Bridge, original double vinyl. It's yet to be reissued, so I'm sure it's going to be very, 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 very much the back of the bus for Prince reissues coming out by his estate. I don't care. I got an original double vinyl pressing of it, and I'm excited. Just like this, I got a copy of. This was on discount on Amazon. It was on their, those people returns, the returns section, Amazon warehouse finds, I guess it is, and it just went down in price to like, I don't know, $15 or whatever it was, and I got it. And sometimes you don't know if those records are playable or not, or opened, or what's going on. But this was perfectly fine. I don't see any dents on it. Someone just returned it. It was in the wrap. It was the Prince album, and it's the cover. It's called The Originals, where he does. It's the original versions of songs that he gave away to people. You probably don't know this. So he's got Apollonius, Sex Shooter, The Times, Jungle Love, The Bangles, Manic Monday, songs like that. The Glamorous Life. It's his original versions, and then he gave away to the artist, because that's what he does. He gives away awesome songs and kickstarts people's careers. But yeah, actually really good. They're not demos. They're actually full-fledged songs that he did. I don't think he did anything half-assed. This is on Ruthless Records. The record label started by Eazy-E of NWA. And this is one of the early early albums produced by Dr. Dre on Ruthless Records. This is way before Chronic and all that stuff. It's a band called JJ Fad, Supersonic, the album. It's very much of its time, but I really like this record. Can't believe I got it. Very happy to get this record at a thrift store, and it's one of those red labeled Ruthless Records ones that it's just really cool. And to get an early Dr. Dre produced album. What is this? Oh, I've already mentioned this band, but an album by Pentangle, which I have never heard of, I've never seen before. It's like I think it's an album they made in the 80s. I don't know what year it is. It's by the looks of them, it's probably early 80s. It's Bert Jantz, and it's who else is in that band? And Bert Jantz is probably the one people know about. Anyways, I haven't listened to this one yet, but I'll get to it. I swear. We're getting down. We're getting down. Don't worry about it. I found not one, but two original pressings of The Association, Inside Out, Windy. I'm not sure if that's Windy leads off Inside Out, The Association. I've heard such good things about this record, and I thought it would be some cheesy 60s things, but it's not. It's a really good record, and I found one, and then like a month later I found another, both in equally good condition. The original kind of gold label, Warner Records. And I thought, I know it's been reissued on some really good audiophile labels, so I thought, well, at least it might be interesting to sample, and it's a really good record. I have two. I don't need two, and I'm sure someone else will end up with one. Muddy Waters, Hard Again. Sorry, one of his best later albums ever. I've had this album before, but I have it again. B.B. King, Guess Who, and an upgraded copy of Live at the Regal by B.B. King. Good record. Okay record. Good record. But I find good blues at thrift stores so not so often that it's worth keeping or hanging on to. I'm very happy I found this copy. It's been one of my wants for a long time, and then I found a copy in Calgary. I went to it's about a 4-hour drive south. Some people might know the city of Calgary, Alberta. I went there just for a day to get away and clear my head and forget about all the shit going on in my life. Not to fucking whine or anything like that, but just it was a good road trip to get away and clear your head. And I just looked at some of their online ads while I was there, and I found this. Someone was selling this on an online ad in Calgary, so I went to his house, and he had an original kind of half-speed mastered copy of Band on the Run. And I have the reissue that came out, I don't know, 10 years ago maybe. This is from, was it 1973? I'm sure this version came out later, but it's the Columbia. Wings and Paul McCartney was on Columbia Records in North America at the time. So it's a Columbia Records half-speed mastered copy of Band on the Run, and it is amazing. I love this record. I don't care. I love this album, Band on the Run. Love it. Let's blow through this. Budgie. I found a Budgie record. If I were Britannia, I'd waive the rules. Second copy I got, this was from an online auction, hence the lot tag on it. But my bid of like $5 or $7 won this one. So the only Budgie album I have besides that is a best of. I found, where's the other one? Oh yeah, 2 Aerosmith records. This was last week at a thrift store. I found a copy in the shrink of Permanent Vacation, which I don't, for some reason I've never had, and of course Toys in the Attic, which I did have, but this is a nicer copy. 2 Aerosmith records I found. We'll skip this one. The Music Explosion, A Little Bit of Soul. An upgrade copy of that for me. So hope this table doesn't fall over here as I'm balancing records on it. Same thing in Calgary. I did another online ad search, and this guy had one of the only, I'm only missing one other promo single from this album by this band. It's one of my favorite albums. It's called Operation Mindcrime by Queensryche. And this guy had a promo copy of Breaking the Silence, promo DJ radio copy. And it's the edit single version on both sides. But I do have a I do have a collection of stuff from that album. It was a life-changing record in some ways. I found not one, where's the other one? The two original red label pressings of Crosby, Stills, and Nash and Young, Deja Vu. I think this one's better than this one. So I don't know. I already have a copy, but 2 copies within a couple weeks. Thank you very kindly. Also in Calgary, I found a copy of Circus of Power. Good metal record, which I've never had before. I've had on CD, but I found a copy of that for like $5. Oh yeah, Crosby, Stills, and Nash so far to go along with the Crosby, Stills, and Nash. What are you doing, Circus of Power, getting in the middle of this? I had Crosby, Stills, Nash, and Young, and then I had another one, and I run into you. Fuck you, Circus of Power. Messing up my flow. Anyways, Osibissa. I always have problems saying this band's name. Osibissa. A copy of their album Heads on Decca Records. I have quite a decent collection now of this band. A copy of MC Shan. You'd have to listen to an interview with Nardwar and Questlove to find out who MC Shan is. It's a good story about who this guy is from Philadelphia. The Crush Groove soundtrack, a nice original copy in the shrink. And this was at a thrift store. I shit you not. Tyler, the Creator, Igor. I think the guy's fucking talented. Take what you want of his personality, but he makes some really interesting music. So I found that at a thrift store. I thought I'd buy it and be hip with the kids. Am I hip with the kids? Absolutely not. But I thought I'd try. JJ Cale's 5. This is my last pile I've used. See, last pile. Used. Pile. Almost done. JJ Cale 5. Roger Taylor from Queen. His album Fun in Space. I've never heard it, but I don't really have great expectations of it, but I thought I'd listen to it. Another copy of Peter Gabriel's So, but it's one of those albums that people eternally want. Not only is it great sounding, but it's a great record. Found a copy of, what is this? Leon Redbone. What? On the track. I bought it for the record, for the album cover. It's a okay record. Leon Redbone is an acquired taste. Dave Brubeck's Greatest Hits. Why not? A copy of, oh yeah, this is original Columbia 6i. Of Dave Brubeck and Jay and Kai live at the Newport Jazz Festival. And it's okay. Finally, a copy of, this is something else I'll talk about in a future video, is my absolute obsession with Bill Evans. But that's a whole other topic. But I got a copy of his album Moonbeams, which was not in my collection. The guy has so many records, it's going to take me years to track them all down. But I'm kind of chipping away. This is a Riverside Records pressing of Moonbeams. Okay, really quickly, I'm going to blow through my new vinyl because this video is getting a little bit long, and I apologize, but it's been a while. I've given you a break from this mug for a while, so just hear me out, okay, please? I need you. Def Leppard's Adrenalize. The last Def Leppard record I'll need for my collection. I just didn't have this one, and it's okay. It's got some okay singles on it. Copy of Motley Crue's Greatest Hits, who are Motley Crue's in my town tomorrow with, is it Poison? Motley Crue, Def Leppard, and Joan Jett. And if me and my friend Tom can get last minute tickets for cheap, we're going to go for Joan Jett. And maybe Poison. Anyways, Motley Crue's Greatest Hits I picked up finally because I just didn't have a copy of it. And it's good if you just want a quick listen of some of their stuff, as always. This is on my favorite record label, Music on Vinyl, my favorite reissue label. I've talked about them so much. But this is a copy of the Velvet Fog. I saw an original copy of this in Calgary for like $150 Canadian, which is about $5 American. But Music on Vinyl, it was in Amazon's clearance section online. I said, yeah, thank you very much. And it's a really fun record to listen to. Psychedelic looking. How would I cover that? What kind of filth am I featuring on my channel? I'm such a porn merchant here. I should look over here. Porn merchant over here. Anyways, good record. Don't buy the original. I'm going to guarantee you it's not good sounding. And the Music on Vinyl pressing is awesome. Because no one's impressed if you have an original pressing of Velvet Fog. Trust me. Um, Another one that was in the clearance section, music on vinyl as well. That's odd. I didn't plan this way, but Suicidal Tendencies, Still Psycho, after all these years. They kind of do a lot of re-recordings of their older material. Why? I don't know why. But there's Robert Trujillo of Metallica. I don't know why they did this record. I don't know why. Maybe because they couldn't get the rights to join the army on their first record, so they decided to re-record some of the songs and get some, make some pennies out of them. But possibly, but they're not good. They're not good versions. But I just didn't have this on vinyl. It was cheap in the clearance section, and I love Suicidal Tendencies, but it's not. I'm kind of okay saying that it's not a good record. What's this one? Oh, the Tragically Hip Live at the Roxy. This is a live concert of legendary proportions for Canadians. And I could go into why, but if you're Canadian, you will know why this is a legendary concert. I'm going to put it at that. But it was recorded live at the Roxy in Los Angeles, California. A little band from Ontario playing in the Roxy, but such an amazing live record. I can't believe it finally came out on vinyl or in any way. They finally got the rights away from Westwood One, who recorded it for their old radio series. Black Mountain Destroyer. I saw Black Mountain last month or the month before, opening for Primus. That was one of my first concerts post-COVID. I went to see Primus. They were doing Rush's, that Rush album all the way through. I'm blanking. You know which one I'm talking about. Anyways, Black Mountain opened up and they kicked ass. And then I realized I don't have this on vinyl, so I bought it there. The reissue of Fasty Pussycat, Whipped. This is their third record, and it's not a great record. It's okay. It's okay. But yeah, I'm happy to have it though. I'm glad people like what labels Real Gone Records is reissuing stuff like this, and Friday Music and bands and labels like that are reissuing stuff like that. Oh yeah. Okay, last pile. I'm gonna whip through this. This is like a classic concert on their second album tour, I believe, from the Georgia Satellites, Lightning in a Bottle. It's an official live record. An amazing sound to this record. A great concert. I first saw them on this tour, and it was the first time I went home after a concert deaf. It was this very tour. And to this day, I still love that band. Warrior Soul, which was a record store they titled as well, called Odds and Sods, and it's what it is. Brittany Fox, Bite Down Hard, which is a recent reissue of their third record, or fourth record, and probably their best record they ever did, which no one really bought. Saigon Kick, a purple vinyl repressing of their first record, which is amazing. Copy of Lee Morgan's, this is one of those audiophile Blue Note records, Search for the New Land. But I bought this, and I realized I have one. If you want this one, let me know. Bill Evans, once again, at the Montreux Jazz Festival. This is one of those, this is an audiophile repressing on QPR, audio, whatever it's called, Analog Productions. Bill Evans, and it's an amazing sounding live record. Same as this one. If you want one jazz record, all people will say, get Kind of Blue, get Dave Brubeck's Time Out. I'm gonna throw a wrench into proceedings here and say, get Gil Evans out of the Cool. I think it's the bridge between something that you will be familiar with and something that won't scare you, that's being jazz, if that makes sense. It is such a good record, and this is the audiophile version that came out a little while ago. And my God, it's such a great record. Even people I know who don't like jazz have heard it recently, because I've told them, and they say, man, that's a good record. Same as, this is the audiophile Blue Note version of Joe Henderson's Page One. And then just I'm going to end it on this. This is a metal band from the 80s and early 90s called Cancer, Death Shall Rise, their best record. If I showed you the cover for their first record, if you're into metal, you'll know it. It's the head with the hatchet going through it. That's an okay record. This is the bomb right here. This one, Death Shall Rise. And then finally, I'm going to end it with the only Bowie album I did not have on vinyl. It's prevented me from doing Bowie retrospective videos because I didn't have it on vinyl. You got to be, snooty enough to have every record on vinyl. But Black Tie, White Noise. This was the re-teaming up of David Bowie and Nile Rodgers. And admittedly, it's not the greatest record, but it's got some great moments on it. The song Black Tie, White Noise will make every best of Bowie kind of compilation that I ever make for my car or whatever. The first single, Jump They Say, I wasn't a big fan of, but it's got some great moments. And I think, don't quote me, it's one of the last performances on guitar recorded by Mick Ronson. He came in and did some guitar work on this album. There's a documentary for the making of this record. You can see Mick Ronson on that documentary, but it's one of his last, if not his last, appearance on a recorded piece of music. And Mick Ronson of the Spiders of Mars and his own damn self is a legend in my mind. And that's it. There's about 150 more over there, but this is going on way too long, and I apologize. But it's my catch-up video. Thank you. I love you all. Thank you for just sending me messages, just keeping with this sack of crap. I'm not a sack of crap. I don't know how to refer to this, but thank you for staying with me. That sounds pompous, but thank you very much. I look forward to making, see how upbeat I'm being? It's called Shoving Emotions Down. Shove them down, right into the pit of your stomach, and they'll stay there if you eat enough, like, acidic food. They'll eat them away. They just disappear. Room tour video. I have to do one next because everything I got. If you're into stereo equipment, I've just got, or even not, if you're just interested on just different systems and how you can piece them together, I've got a really good system that I want to show you. It's very interesting, to say the least. But I'll show that next video. Thank you very much. I'm not going to prolong this anymore. David Michael, aka Nazz Nomad, or reverse that, and it's still the same thing. Cheers, everyone. My favorite crossover record, Four of a Kind DRI. I'm off to go see The Descendants. Love you all. Thank you very much for staying with me. Take care, everyone. Till next time.